this is Jersey. You're watching The Garden State.
You are listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. I'm Josh Sobo.
I'm Jay Chomik.
And behind the camera, the man himself,
Jimmy Parks.
Also known as Park Ranger Jimmy Parks. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How
Name
are you guys doing?
upgrade.
Name upgrade, yeah.
Also known as Jimbotronic.
Also known as Gaffer Jimmy.
Also known as the Jimbotron.
One day we'll have you tell the story of my background.
Yeah. One day. I love the mystery for our listeners that just wonder, why does Jimmy know everything? You're a living encyclopedia of New Jersey.
He really is.
Like, Jimmy, give me a fact about, I'm going to give you a random town.
Okay.
I'm going to just throw a town at you, and I want you to give me the best fact you know. I want to learn something about, I don't know if you're as good with towns as you are with, like, nature-related stuff.
I don't know. Throw something at me.
Clifton. Give me a Clifton, New Jersey fact.
Oh, my mom used to work in Clifton.
Okay.
Where at?
What'd she do?
She worked at this company called Permanent Label. They used to like design bottles and glasses and stuff, and they would print whatever the labels were on them.
Huh. Permanent label.
It doesn't exist anymore.
That sounds...
Pretty neat fact.
Damiano, my best friend, also was born in Clifton.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Shout out to Damiano. He made it on the podcast.
For the mass public, none of these facts matter.
Well, it matters to us, Jimmy, and that's all that really matters on the Garden State. And, you know, we're excited to have our listeners back. If you're listening, thank you for joining us back in. The audience is growing. The New Jerseyans, they're growing. We see bigger numbers every week, which is exciting, right, Josh?
Yes, sir. I think one fact I really want to know is, Jimmy, how many babies are born in New Jersey daily? Because Josh did say the Jerseyans are growing. So who's going to win? Who's going to win? Is it going to be Josh?
It's looking like there's about 300 to 320 new residents born each day. 13 births per 1,000 residents.
And, you know, we're looking at about 115,000 a year.
Wow.
Jimmy and I looked at the exact same stat.
Are we currently growing, or, you know, are there more people dying?
I have no idea.
Well, you also have to think about people moving in and people moving out of the state, too. That all takes into account.
Yeah, everyone's leaving Jersey.
I don't know. A lot of people were coming to Jersey during COVID. They were leaving New York City.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true as well.
New York is more expensive.
There's a housing crisis in New Jersey right now. We don't have enough homes to sell people. That's why these houses are selling for $50,000 over asking price.
I have a theory on that, but we'll get into that in another
And apartments
episodes.
are going up everywhere.
It's ridiculous.
Everywhere you look, there's a new apartment building up.
That has to do with the Mount Laurel decision.
The good old Mount Laurel decision.
Well, do we want to get into the Mount Laurel?
No.
Not today.
No.
That's...
Jimmy, please.
You guys know how we start every podcast. I like to ask you guys a question. How was your weekend?
Mine was great.
What'd you do, Jimmy?
I took pictures for my friend's dad's wedding. I went to Philadelphia.
Wow.
Trash City. Keep going.
It's always
Hey.
Philly. It's always Philly with this guy.
I'm kidding. South Jersey people just got real mad at me. No, Philly's a great city.
I'll take Philly over New York City any day.
That's where I draw the
Any
line.
day.
We already had this discussion.
I know,
I know.
Get out of here.
Continue.
And that was pretty much it. It was a good weekend.
Nice. Josh,
Dude, one of the best yet, actually.
what'd you do?
Bro, not only were the Masters on this weekend, we got to see Tiger play and make the cut. It was just so crazy. But we also got baseball. So I got to watch baseball this weekend. So
That's right.
Finally.
My
Thank
New York
God.
Mets are looking
The Mets are
pretty
looking
hot.
hot, dude. Yankees are looking good. Mets are looking hotter than the Yanks right now, despite even the injuries. But it's just so healthy to see baseball back on TV and like all over my feed. Missed it.
Did you golf this weekend?
I did golf this weekend.
Where'd you play?
I'm trying to, dude. I'm just trying to break that 100. I played at Galloping Exact 9 again.
You play that every weekend, I feel.
It's
They should sponsor
It's cheap and it's local to me, and it's only 9 holes. So,
If they gave us free Exact 9 games, I'd promo them every podcast.
well, someone sent us a DM saying that we should rate golf courses on the Garden State, and I was like, that is a dream channel for me to make one day.
That's a great idea. An expensive idea, though. That's what people don't get with the diner. Like if you don't know, if you just listen to us somehow and you've never seen our TikTok or Instagram, I don't know how you'd even be here, but we review diners and we do it once a week, and it's expensive. It's an expensive thing to do, like all the time. And I don't think people realize that. We're always buying food. We're always eating out. So not that expensive, but you know, it's going to be $30, $40 a week.
This TikTok I'm trying to upload, guys, right now, is the first time ever that a TikTok's not uploading for me, and it's really grinding my gears right now. I don't know why. I'm just trying to spread news, bro, but nope. TikTok does not like us sometimes.
TikTok has been very rude to us lately. So, shall we get into the news for the week?
Think so.
There is a lot happening in this state, as always. I want to say a special shout out to all the people that gave us some love on our Al Lupiano interview that we did last week. It was, to be honest, now can we just give some thoughts since he's not on the line and we're not recording the podcast? I felt after listening to it like it was the most important thing to come from this podcast so far.
Oh, yeah, and very legit.
I felt like he had so much knowledge, and there is some news regarding Al Lupiano and what he's pursuing tonight. We'll get to that in a little bit. But before we do, any other thoughts before I get into the news?
Go for it.
Oh, Jimmy's wearing a Garden State t-shirt right now, and I just want to say last week we restocked, and we've been selling shirts and hoodies like crazy, so thank you guys so much.
Yes.
And I just want to say this is one of the most comfortable shirts I own.
Are you serious?
I swear to God, it's beautiful.
Wow, dude, you're crazy.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you for knowing how to promo the merch just right.
Hey, I got to support.
Jimmy, you're a good guy.
I bought this with my own money.
I don't care what Soba says about you. You're a pretty cool guy. All right?
I never said that. All right, let's get into the news. You guys ready?
Let's go for it.
Krispy Kreme is going to change the price of a dozen donuts based off the average price of a gallon of gas.
What a dub.
This is big.
That's so cool, bro. It's making us feel a little bit better and also killing us a little quicker, too.
I mean, the price of gas has been so ridiculous, and we've talked about it a million times on the pod. That's crazy, but this is what 101.5 is saying. Krispy Kreme is lowering the price of its original glazed donuts by pricing them at the cost of the national average of a gallon of gasoline. Every Wednesday from April 13th to May 4th, Krispy Kreme will use Monday's national average for the gallon of regular gas, according to the AAA, to set the promotional cost. 3 New Jersey-based Krispy Kreme shops are participating in the promotion.
Where at?
One is in Collingwood. Where's Collingwood?
Collingswood.
Well,
that's down off 295, South Jersey.
You missed the S.
I've been to that Krispy Kreme before.
No, I'm reading the article and they spelled it wrong.
It's Collingswood.
Which one is it? Is it Jimmy right or the article right?
I am 100%
Is it what street's
right.
it on, Jimmy?
I don't know. It's in Collingswood.
Fake.
Haddon Ave.
Yeah, Haddon Ave. Yep.
Another is in East Springfield on Route 22.
That's
That's
our local.
That's my.
I haven't even been there, bro.
And the third is in Jersey City on Columbus Ave.
So what you're basically saying is if the national average of a gallon of gas is $4.11,
Yes.
a dozen donuts at Krispy Kreme is going to cost $4.11.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
What's the normal price?
The article actually said the normal price is around $10.
That's crazy.
That's why I don't go to Krispy Kreme. But that's actually not bad, is it?
Well,
what's Dunkin'?
Dunkin's
is
like 12, I think.
You're right. I don't know why that sounds so crazy to me.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not super caught up on my donut dozen prices. But yeah, it's definitely exciting to see that Krispy Kreme's getting in on the action of the crazy gas prices. They're trying to just sell some more donuts.
It's just dangerous, man. Think about that.
Yeah, I might go every Wednesday.
Wait, is it just every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday from April 13th to May 4th.
Okay, that's not as bad. I thought it was every day.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear that part. That could have been bad, dude.
We got to stop doing stories like this. Can I just say?
Why?
Because this is what Krispy Kreme wants. We're playing into their little game.
But bro, there's
What do we get out of this?
cheap
Nothing.
donuts. Cheap.
Krispy
we
Kreme,
get
write us a
cheap
check.
donuts.
Write me a check and I'll talk more about your donuts.
Listen, I had Krispy Kreme. Like I've had it like here and there growing up, but I had it for the first time in a long time a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Wow, this is actually pretty good."
No, their glazed donut's the best glazed
I just
donut.
thought it was just like overrated. No, like
No,
way. I want to
it's-
start going there compared to Dunkin'.
Like a Dunkin', see, Dunkin' has issues, at least in New Jersey. If you're from New Jersey, you know Dunkin', obviously. It's an East Coast thing. The issue with Dunkin', I've realized, is they're just inconsistent. Like if you go to, for example,
I don't know about that.
not specifically the donuts, although the donuts can be inconsistent, but the coffee is the most inconsistent thing you can get anywhere.
Really,
Like,
I think I've had a pretty consistent cup over the years.
It's hit or miss. It could be like super burnt tasting, or it could be like amazing.
I guess it depends on the location you go to as well.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because I would frequent Dunkin' Donuts if they just gave me the same cup every week. But it's like, sometimes I love it. And sometimes I'm like, what did they just make for me?
100% though. Yeah, I see that.
Did you know that that's why Starbucks coffee is so dark?
No.
So Starbucks coffee is really cheap coffee beans. Like just like Dunkin' or McDonald's, but they roast them until there's 2 cracks in the bean, which is apparently the sign of like a darkly roasted coffee, I guess. They roast it dark enough that you lose all the flavor notes that are naturally in the bean, and it's just dark coffee. So you assume it's like some gourmet cup of coffee. Really, it's cheap coffee, because for there to be consistency in their good cups of coffee, it's more expensive to have people go to the farms where they're growing the bean and select the beans when they're right. They just get all of them.
That's an interesting fact. I never even knew that.
Yeah, that's why I don't drink Starbucks coffee, because
I don't even like
so bitter.
Starbucks. Yeah, I don't like Starbucks coffee, dude. I don't go there. I only go there for the holiday drinks.
Starbucks has made a brand out of building what feels like a premier coffee shop or premium coffee shop, when really it's just Dunkin' with a,
Yeah, the aesthetic is just there. That's why.
Yeah, and there's free Wi-Fi.
It's great. Well, Dunkin' has free Wi-Fi.
You're probably right, but I've never brought like a laptop to Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, that's why I said the aesthetic is not there. Dunkin's
Yeah,
bright,
that's
like
true.
fluorescent lights. It's not pretty. Like no one wants to go there and study. Like Starbucks is dark. It has more comfortable seating. It's just a better environment.
So I actually know the owner of a New Jersey Chick-fil-A, and I'm not going to say which one it is.
I actually know someone who's buying a Chick-fil-A right now. Starting a franchise.
They're starting one, really?
Yeah.
In New Jersey?
Yep, South Jersey.
What part?
I don't know exactly where.
Well, we'll have to make a visit. But I know the owner of a
Tabernacle?
Chick-fil-A up in, I would say, central to North Jersey, let's just say. And I went by the spot recently, was talking about coffee, because I had this theory on McDonald's coffee. McDonald's iced coffee, the most consistent cup of coffee you can get. Every time I have it, it's the same. Have you ever had McDonald's iced?
I love it. You got me on that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did get you onto that. It's the same every time I drink it. And my theory is they ship it in bags. Like they brew it somewhere in like a factory and they just send it in a bag. And so I asked the guy at Chick-fil-A, I'm like, look, what are the odds that that's what's really going on? I need to get to the bottom of it. And he's like, absolutely, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Which is why he said the reason they swirl it before they give it to you. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
Yeah.
They do one of these whoosh with their hand and then they give it to you. That's all a marketing gimmick. They want it to look like they just really made it in there.
Well, I always thought they did that because they just pour the cream in and it just spreads the cream.
Nah, it's like he's like all that's thought out by corporate. It's like a corporate thing.
No shot.
Yeah.
Because whenever they give it to you, you see all the cream at the bottom, so they shake it so it disperses throughout the cup.
I don't know. I don't know what he said. He had some theory on that. I trust him. He's a fast food guy, but nonetheless, I've never had Krispy Kreme coffee. Maybe I will when this promo starts. What do you think?
On Wednesday, April 13th.
That would be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Or 2 days ago for those that are listening to this the day we upload it.
Dude, we're in mid-April. What?
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
The year is flying by.
At least we're finally starting to get warmer weather this week, so that's really nice.
Yeah. Well, for those that want to stop by to a Krispy Kreme, like I said, you can go to Collingswood, East Springfield, it's Springfield. There's no such thing as East Springfield.
I don't know why they say that.
And Jersey City. You can go stop by one of these Krispy Kremes and grab yourself a dozen for like $4.
Or 2 dozen for still cheaper than the original price of a dozen, which is crazy.
It's a great thought.
It's how I think of things.
This is the news we need to be, this is big news for the state.
Which is very unhealthy news.
So our next story is a little bit different, but also interesting nonetheless. In New Brunswick, New Jersey, shots were fired at a pedestrian using an airsoft gun as part of a TikTok challenge.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would
What is
describe
like
it.
a 15-year-old? Like, who's doing these kind of things?
I don't know, but I will say this is a great way to get shot.
A great way to get shot, a great way to get locked up and sentenced to some prison time for being an idiot.
Yeah, it says in New Brunswick, New Jersey, there was a drive-by shooting near Rutgers University Saturday night involving an airsoft-type rifle, part of a social media challenge. The shots were fired from a tan Toyota Sienna minivan around 8 p.m. at 4 people walking near the intersection of George and Bayard Streets. According to the New Brunswick police, one of those victims is affiliated with Rutgers. One person was injured by the projectile but refused medical treatment, according to the police. New Brunswick Police Captain J.T. Miller told New Jersey 1015 that Kevin Lee, 20 of Manahawkin, was arrested in early Tuesday morning in the area of George Street, a block from the incident.
You're 20 years old. Like, you have to know the consequences of doing these types of things.
Yeah, I would say, go ahead, Jimmy. Sorry.
You know what's crazy? I'm just looking this up now, and the exact same thing happened in Westfield on March 23rd. It says, a Westfield resident reports she was shot at with plastic bullets and was struck in the torso several times while walking.
Unreal.
And the person was in a black sedan.
What's this challenge that's going on? I haven't even seen it. That's not on my
Dude,
FYP.
kids nowadays,
What's the challenge called?
I don't know. Let me look it up on TikTok right now. Do we have the time? Can I look?
It
Here
says
we
it
go.
on
It's called the Orbeez Challenge.
the Orbeez challenge.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that? What's Orbeez?
Oh, it's an Orbeez gel gun. So, do you know what an Orbeez is? It's
No, show
it's
me.
not an airsoft gun, although I'm sure it's not a good idea to shoot at somebody.
These people used an airsoft gun though.
So, Orbeez are these little balls that you put in water and then they absorb water and they turn into like Jello.
Oh no, we've used those for parties before.
Yeah, you put them in like
I
a.
never shot it though.
So then I guess they go around and shoot them at people. But I got to be honest with you, man. An Orby, it's not the same as an airsoft gun.
Absolutely not. No, an airsoft gun could really, really hurt.
I mean, I don't think an Orby could blind you.
Yeah,
you
airsoft
know?
gun easily.
Nonetheless, it's really, really, really stupid because it looks like kind of like an Uzi or something.
It said it might have been part of the social media challenge. It wasn't actually confirmed. So, but like, why else are you shooting people with an airsoft gun? What's your what are you trying to do here?
Yeah, I don't know, and it just sounds like
Was it just like a funny prank? Oh, let's go shoot people with an airsoft gun. There's definitely no consequences to that.
It's a bad idea all around. I don't know what inspired them to do it, but that just seems like the type of thing that is funny. You get one laugh out of it, and then it ruins your life, and you get like kicked out of college. You know, young people are so foolish sometimes. It's like, what is the benefit of doing this?
You grow up on the internet, and all you do is TikTok, social media,
Yeah.
and that you'll eventually just get warped, man. You got to find that balance. Seriously, it could be very bad.
Yeah, and the other thing is,
I don't want to sound like a boomer, but like it's kind of true.
they have this like false. We do sound like boomers because 10 years ago we were in high school, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's this false sense of confidence that kids have now. That's crazy. Like
They own the world and they can't get in trouble at all.
yeah, and like they think they're like tougher than they are. And that's the thing is like
they
you
just
see
look
these kids
dumb.
talk and it's like I go to my gym and when I go to the gym in my town, usually I show up if I go like afternoon, a mob of like 20, 15-year-olds always shows up. Maybe they're like 14. These kids, man,
Crew
it's like
deep.
no disrespect. I'm not judging them for wanting to lift and get bigger like that. I was the same at that age, but the confidence these kids have, there's no humility, man. It's gonna. This is why people are shooting Orbeez at strangers on Rutgers University.
It's not even an Orby, bro. That's an airsoft. So it's even worse.
Listen, if it was an airsoft gun, I think you definitely would need some really harsh punishment because you could blind somebody with an airsoft gun.
I shot a squirrel with an airsoft gun once.
Yeah.
No, it kept running, but I was hoping for like some better consequences.
Yeah.
But I remember I got shot. My friend shot me with my airsoft gun in the back because we
Yeah.
were just high schoolers being stupid, and it hurt. Like if that hit my eye, I can go blind.
Yeah, I mean, I've been. I used to play like in Jersey. My friend there was this piece of property by my friend we could play on, and there were like 6 of us running around with airsoft guns. And I remember it really stung if you got shot. I mean, and then the fun ended one day. I wasn't there the day, but it ended when one day the kid was running through the woods, and someone who had a property nearby saw the kid and like called the cops and said there's people with guns, which was like really dumb. And then like the cops showed up and like confiscated clearly fake airsoft guns.
Did they have the orange tip on them?
Yeah, they were like really stupid looking, but it was just like you can't be doing this. Same thing as this type of thing. You can't be running around with something that
Well, I
looks
guess
like
if you're in a
gun.
backyard, it could easily like cross over into a neighbor's yard.
It wasn't a backyard, but it was property that I guess probably is owned by the state. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like something people walk through, but yeah. So I get it. I've done stupid things before, but when you're 20, you don't drive around and shoot people with a fake gun.
No, go to an actual airsoft range and like you could shoot people there for free and have a fun time doing it legally. Just don't be doing this because people are going to, number one, think it's a real gun. Number two, you could seriously injure someone. And did I say number three?
That was your second point. Go to
I
your
said
third.
two. Then number three,
Yeah.
you're going to get arrested and in big trouble for it. So I messed up my counting. That's what it threw me off with I thought I said number 1, number 3. Did you guys catch that?
No, you were good.
Okay.
You were good. I just think when we get the mics going and the lights are on us recording this.
It's hot in here today, is it not?
It is hot in here. It's because the weather is getting nice, but also I don't know what happens as soon as we click record for this podcast. This feeling of like supreme drowsiness comes over me. I just start to get really sleepy. Do you feel that or no?
Well, it was a long day. And do you ever consider drinking like a Red Bull right now, or will that just keep you up at night?
It'll keep me up. For those that are listening, we record this in our evenings after work. And
it's currently 8:06 p.m.
It's 8:06 p.m. and which is not late by any means, but after a day of work and you start sitting here and you have to think. The thing with recording a podcast is you have to be thinking. Like you're yawning right now, and that's gonna make me yawn.
No.
Oh, we gotta move on.
Well, that's why my eyes look teary all the time, bro, because I'm yawning like in between cuts, and it's so bad. And also, it's the bright lights on you. That also
there's so many lights
adds
in
into the factor of like making you yawn more. It's science. I don't know. There's
is.
some way to explain that. I don't know.
It's science.
Dude,
Because science.
it's science.
Hey, on the topic of Krispy Kreme, did you guys hear about what happened in Totowa at Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, yeah.
A Totowa, New Jersey man is suing Dunkin' Donuts after he spilled hot coffee all over himself.
He spilled it on himself.
Yeah.
He did that. Duncan didn't do that.
Isn't this an actual episode of Seinfeld, like, to the T?
I don't remember.
No. This happened to Kramer.
Oh, you're right.
This happened to Kramer.
Yes.
And then Jackie Childs comes in.
Jackie, that's right. Wait, what does he say? Defamation? He says like 3 words in a row. Hold on, I gotta find it.
But then what ends up happening is Kramer gets like all the free coffee he wants. So, and he gets all...
After he spilled it on himself?
Yeah, that's what the settlement of the lawsuit was. And then he gets all hopped up on caffeine.
Wow, I forgot. The coffee burn, Seinfeld.
One of my favorite episodes.
Hold on, let me just see if I can... I want to get one... I'll look at it later, but... I love that episode of Seinfeld, but this also did happen. I don't know if you guys remember. There was this elderly lady that went to McDonald's. This was years back. And she spilled hot coffee on herself, and she got 3rd-degree burns all over her thighs. And she sued she sued McDonald's. And she always got so much hate for this. And everyone's like, wow, only in America do you sue for spilling hot coffee on yourself. But this changed the law of how coffee could be served because they were serving their coffee at like boiling point, which you're really not supposed to serve coffee at. And they gave it to her and the lid was loose and she was an elderly lady. This poor old lady had 3rd-degree burns on her thighs. I don't know what happened here, but...
I get it, but do you think it actually was too hot at Dunkin'?
Well, they give the degrees. Can I read you the article here? A New Jersey man said he sustained 2nd and 3rd-degree burns when he spilled a cup of Dunkin' coffee in his lap. And now he wants the chain's location in the Passaic County Borough to disclose exactly how hot the beverage was when they served him. NewJersey.com reported that the lawsuit filed by Evan Arlington and his wife Stephanie Arlington claims negligence in the preparation, sales, and service of the coffee at the Dunkin' shop in Minnesink Road in Totowa. It goes on to say, as cited in the NewJersey.com report, the National Coffee Association of USA says coffee should be between 195 to 205 degrees Fahrenheit, just below the boiling point of water, but that most drinkers prefer to consume the beverage no hotter than 140 degrees.
Wow.
I don't buy that, though.
I boil my water every day to hit 204, and right when it's done boiling, I serve myself the drink, and I'm drinking it that hot.
Yeah, that's right. So I got that fancy tea kettle that I can set the exact degree for my coffee in the morning, and I got you the same kettle because you liked it so much when we were roommates. And I do the same thing every morning. 205 is this sounds nerdy, but that's like ideal brew temp for the type of coffee I brew. I know that sounds ridiculous. I hate myself for even saying that out loud, but they say like 205 is the sweet spot, and I could sip 205. And I'm like a wimp, bro. Like I'm not drinking boiling tea.
What is the boiling point again?
213 is it? I think the boiling point of water. I think it's 212.
Why does that sound so wrong?
212 or 213?
Oh yeah, 212, right?
So
212.
Yeah, 212.
140 degrees though. That's like lukewarm.
No, dude. And like, bro, every time I've gotten a cup of Dunkin' coffee, it's been super hot. But I just, I'm not gonna try to chug it off the bat. Like I'm going to like wait for it to cool down a little bit. This guy was he just trying to go in on his coffee right when they handed it to him? Like, use common sense. Like it's not that deep. Listen, you're gonna get your hot coffee. You shouldn't be spilling on yourself. It happens. Everyone spills on themselves, but just don't. Why are you suing, bro?
Well, listen. So
it's your fault.
You're right. I agree to an extent. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
100%, brother.
If Dunkin' brewed their coffee to boiling, and he got, I mean, what are the odds he got coffee at 213 degrees? I doubt.
Yeah, especially
212, Jimmy.
212.
Yeah, they're gonna go check on it now, and Dunkin' for sure is not gonna keep it that hot. There's not going to be a way to prove it.
No idea how they could even prove that. But nonetheless, he's suing. I don't know. I don't get it. I think sometimes people look for lawsuits, and that's why we're always skeptical. Sometimes there's actually negligence.
I'm gonna go to Dunkin' tomorrow and pour coffee on myself and say it was an accident. Sue, see how much I can make.
That is it. Dude, this podcast could use a little bit of money.
Oh, bro, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking one for the team.
And if Dunkin's not going to sponsor us, we're going to get the money another way.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll go to Starbucks. Do the same thing.
You know what would be awful now? That actually does happen to you for
I know,
real
by
tomorrow.
accident, they're going to be like, he said it.
Yeah, now we have this all recorded.
Nah, dude, I've never sued anyone. I kind of want to do it just for the experience, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it based off of like an injury like that. Getting burned kind of fears me.
So it says in the article, the lawsuit comes almost exactly a year after a Vineland man sued a Dunkin' in the city, claiming that a drive-thru worker failed to properly secure a cup lid, leading the customer to spill the coffee and suffer second-degree burns to his thigh and groin area.
Did that guy? Did he win the lawsuit? I'm so curious. Did he win that lawsuit?
Let's see. It has a link here.
No shot,
and an
right?
ad just popped up. Let me just try to get.
No shot.
It says. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the article here.
The way the court
No,
system
it doesn't. Hold on. This is crazy. It doesn't say if he got paid, but it says in 2014, a woman sued Dunkin' because the lid of her cup was served hot at the Ramsey location.
Oh my god!
It's like every 3 years. Wait, hold on. A Somerset woman settled her lawsuit against Dunkin' for $522,000 in 2015 after suffering burns on her face and neck when she tripped on a curb. Guys, this is a racket here.
Wait, she tripped on a curb and her coffee burned her face?
Dude,
she got $500,000?
Wait a second.
What?
The parents of a 3-year-old girl who were severely burned by a spilled hot cup of coffee at the Neptune City Wawa filed a federal lawsuit in 2018. This happens like once a year.
Listen, bro, because coffee is hot. You're going to spill it on yourself. It's going to hurt.
You know what's crazy?
Gosh.
That was amazing.
Oh my gosh. It's common sense. Stuff makes me so mad.
This happened to one of our friends, but he spilled it on himself. Our friend Mark.
That's right.
Had his tea on his, what's it called? The
sunroof.
He opened his sunroof and it spilled on him. Josh, you took him to the hospital.
My friend, he was cleaning his car, and this is such a Mark move. He opened the sunroof while cleaning, forgetting his tea was on the sunroof. And he opened it, and the boiling hot water comes and spills all over his back. And because he's an idiot, he calls me. I'm across town. He's like, Josh, he could barely speak. He's like, Josh, I'm about to pass out. I just burnt myself with my tea, telling me the story. I'm like, did you call 911? He's like, no, I need you to take me. I was like, bro, I'm on my way. I was already darting out of the house at this point. I didn't have shoes on. Long story short, I drove him to Rahway Hospital. I'm in the emergency room barefoot. This is the summer. They ended up giving me those like little shoes to wear.
I was going to say they kick you out of the hospital.
I think he had like, what's worse, 3rd degree or 2nd degree?
Third.
Okay, he had 2nd degree burns.
Yeah, I
poor
thought
kid
he
was in the
second.
hospital, but
that stinks though.
Getting burned sucks, and most of the time it's your fault. So don't be suing Dunkin'. I don't think you're gonna win.
Can I just play the audio bite from the Coffee Burn Seinfeld episode?
Yes,
the taxi cab?
please.
We're prepared to offer you all the free coffee you want at any of our stores throughout North America and Europe. Plus, I'll take it.
He lost like a lot of money. Yeah, it is a Seinfeld moment. I mean, I love Seinfeld, dude. Seinfeld relates to everything in life.
These people are just trying to get free money, man, and it's sad.
Can you believe all those lawsuits have happened in the last like 8 years?
So with that one chick who won the $500,000, she just tripped with her coffee.
$522,000.
That's all it takes, huh?
Let me try to find the article here.
Not bad.
Pull it back up. Yeah, $522,000, and all she did was just trip on a curb.
The amount we could do with this podcast with $500,000 right now.
That's $500,000, bro. That's half a full stack of money, man.
$500,000 times 2 is $1 million, dude.
That's like half of a house in Union County.
Yeah,
like you could get
so
like
sad.
literally a 1-bedroom apartment in Union County for that.
Yeah,
nowadays.
look at you. That's amazing.
Wow, amazing. Well, Hey, if you're listening to this podcast and you're looking for a lucrative scheme, go to Dunkin' Donuts and let us know how that works out for you.
Yeah,
We're not endorsing that. It's a joke. That is absolutely a joke.
What we are endorsing is that Dunkin' Donuts, you should sponsor us.
Yeah. Hey,
we need some coffee. We're tired.
Wait a second.
Get hyped right now.
the Garden State runs on Dunkin'.
That's
could
what
be
I'm
our
talking
slogan.
Hello.
No, we don't though. We more run on Wawa or Krispy Kreme
Or Mickey
D's.
D's.
Whoever wants to pay us the biggest check.
Quick check.
Honestly, yeah, I love my McDonald's iced coffee, bro.
Hey, listen, we always say we're not sponsored on this podcast, but the second we get a check,
Oh, guys, we're selling out.
I'm selling out.
I hope you all understand
I'll
that.
be going. This episode is sponsored by Simply Safe.
We just want to
Our
say that.
home-
We want to say that.
I'm gonna be like, my home is safe because it's Simply Safe. I've been
Hey.
using it since before the
Hey,
ad.
come on. You already said the word too much. We're not getting paid yet, so
True.
come on.
That's one day down the line when we get some more listeners.
Some more
So, apparently, New Jersey car crashes are apparently
Whoa,
skyrocketing.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
I said apparently New Jersey cars are apparently.
Apparently, should I start that over?
Apparently. I don't know, unless you want to keep this.
So, New Jersey car crashes are apparently soaring.
Dude, look at the highways, bro. It's more traffic than ever. You see helicopters flying around more often than ever, and because car crashes are happening all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of data coming out saying accidents are shooting up in New Jersey. And you know what? People didn't drive for 2 years straight. And also, we have all these new drivers that
Everyone forgot what to do on the road.
I see some people, man. I was behind a lady on 78 today going 55. She had her left blinker on for about a mile straight.
I love that.
And it was uphill.
Yeah,
and
dude.
you guys know I drive an old pickup truck. So for me to get around this lady, it takes like half a gallon of gas just to have to floor it. So I was like going real slow behind her and being real patient. But it happens sometimes where people just don't know how to drive.
Oh, bro. And the best part, she was probably on her phone the entire time, not even realizing you were behind her.
You ever like go past the person? There's like this slightly judgmental look you do. You look over to see
yeah.
like, what's the issue with
And
this
most of the
person?
time, they're looking down on their phones.
Always.
Yeah, dude, that's the problem. That's why all these car accidents are soaring. Everyone's on their phone. I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to lie, but I'm trying to be better.
Listen, the reason I think is also all these new technologies in these cars, the lane assist, the cruise control, the autopilot.
That stuff helps.
But people get complacent and they think, oh, I don't have to look at the road. Let me look at my phone.
True. Unless you have a Tesla, then you're pretty much safe.
I don't know. I'm not about it. I got into driving because I wanted to drive my car. I don't want my car
Ain't
to
that
drive
the truth,
me.
brother? Ain't that the truth?
When I was in the 3rd grade, I dreamed of driving a car.
I thought you were about to quote Macklemore.
The Macklemore song.
Well, look, so can I read you guys the article on this? And this is what it says.
No.
If it seems to you that more people are driving like maniacs on New Jersey highways and byways these days, it turns out you're right. The latest data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration finds motor vehicle fatalities in Garden State are spiking. A statistical projection of traffic fatalities for the first 9 months of 2021 shows that an estimated 496 people died in motor vehicle traffic crashes in New Jersey.
It's so
really messed
awful.
up. Yeah.
It's awful, but everyone knows the solution.
What's the solution?
Get off your phone.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, I think, is people are on their phones.
Because come on, it's pretty like to be able to drive a vehicle. It's not hard. It's so easy to drive a car, even though there's just bad drivers all around. But like, just being on your cell phone just makes it so much harder.
You know what I do when I see someone on their phone driving real bad?
You tail them.
I slam on my horn, get their attention, and then I do the pinky thumb thing, and I go hang up.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I go hang up.
No, you don't.
And then they get real like, oh.
No shot you've ever done that in your life.
I promise you, I done
Yo,
it.
if a random person did that to me, I would just laugh at them in their face.
You know,
It's awesome because you always get good responses because people are like they think nobody else cares that they're driving like a complete moron on their phone, putting my life at risk because they want to look at Instagram.
Oh yeah.
So I do the old beep beep, hang up, and there's also this is the really good one you do when someone tries to do something really dumb. You do the one finger wag. You say
Shout out Luke Holland. Taught us that.
Does he do that?
I remember when I first met him, he's like, I do this to the bad drivers. I just give him the finger.
That's Jersey style. That one works pretty well too. People people hate confrontation.
But at the same time, like I love it because like you'll do that to someone.
Sorry.
And I didn't even hear that. What happened?
what happened back there, Jimmy?
I just like coughed, sneezed at the same time.
That was
no.
cute.
Writing this down.
No, but I love when like people they get mad at me for doing something, and then all I do is smile back at them like this. Oh, bro, gets them even more angry, and it's the best game to play on the road.
Bro.
Just, it pisses people off.
I was driving a little slow a few weeks back. Again, my pickup truck doesn't go very fast. Some dude got really mad at me and drove around me and gave me a thumbs down, which is worse than the finger. Like if someone gives me a thumbs down, I'm like, you know what? You're right, man. I'm sorry. That's just pure disappointment.
Were you on your phone?
No, I wasn't even on my phone. But he was just he was tailing me. It was on Route 22. But in my defense,
Josh, come on. What are you doing slow on 22?
I was trying to merge over to get off by what's it called? What's the big
The
old
Watchung Mall?
by Blue Star, by the restaurant over in Scotch Plain, Snuffy's. I was trying to get off there, and it was a Friday night, and he was just in an angry mood, but he gave me a thumbs down. I don't think I did anything wrong, but he was just mad. He was mad.
You should have gave him the two fingers like this.
Like a hang loose or like hang up. I'm telling you guys, if you use the
Should hit
hang
it
up
back.
move, the old hang up,
I want to do that.
people get weird about
I
it.
feel like people are going to get so mad if I do that to them. I want to do
Tell
it
them
so
to get
bad.
off their phone. I love doing that to the soccer moms in their minivans. I'm like, you have kids in your car. Hang up. It's selfish. It really is just selfish.
You know, I've thought of doing the horn thing before, but I'm always afraid that if they're distracted and they hear this loud horn, it might cause an actual accident.
That's when so what I do is I prepare for the worst. So like I it's almost like I'm driving a what was that thing that Anakin drives in Star Wars Episode 1?
I forgot the name.
The pod racer.
I know what you mean though, yeah.
It's like I'm driving a pod racer ready for I don't know if you remember that scene where he swerves around the other one. I'm just ready for the worst. I honk and then I just get ready to the e-brake's right there, whatever I got to do to get out the way. That is my mindset as I go in. But I just, people got to learn. They got to be a little afraid. They need the fear of God in them when they're on the road. This is why people die. This is what this article is about. Crashes are skyrocketing and people are dying as a result.
At least you could warn people. My horn still does not work on the Jeep.
That's so scary.
Oh, bro.
I don't know how you're passing inspection.
There's been I know a guy, but there's been so many instances lately where there's like someone at a red light in front of me and they just don't move when the light turns green. And I want to start honking, but I can't. I start yelling and their window's closed, so I look like the crazy guy. And at the same time, they don't hear me.
Josh.
And then people behind me are honking at me. And I'm the one who looks bad.
Josh,
I'm like, it's the dude in front of me.
You need to get your horn fixed. We were driving
I'm
the other
working
day.
on
I think
it.
we were on 78 and a
You've
truck
been working
almost
on it for 4 years.
a truck almost cut you off
It
the
has
other
not
day.
been 4 years. What?
I was going to say we were driving. I don't know where we were the other day driving.
Oh, that was scary, right?
And like a truck almost cut you off. And I'm thinking
I was fine. You were a
I'm
little
thinking,
scared.
why is he honk? And then I'm like, oh, his horn doesn't work. Literally, we're dead. We're dead.
I'm giving him the good old two finger.
You go, hang up.
Hang up.
Well, look,
That's
man,
the new slogan of
you
the
should get your
week.
horn
Hang
fixed.
up.
Maybe that's part of this. Maybe the accidents are skyrocketing because people's horns are breaking. Like
Or maybe
yours.
you're just a bad driver, and I'm a good driver.
You know why your horn is broken? You used to play the bongos on your
He
horn.
still does.
You go.
It's definitely not the reason.
Wait, Josh, remember a few months ago it randomly started working again for a day?
No, once every 4 months, like I'll lock my car and you hear beep beep, and I'm like, well, it works. And then I try using it, it doesn't work. So it tries to come back to life, but it's just not there.
I wonder if it's an electrical issue. Like,
I went to the mechanic and they were like, this is going to cost way more than $700, brother. It's deep in there. I was like, all right, we don't need to fix it today.
That's
So
more
maybe
than your
next
whole
time.
car's worth.
I think they were lying to you. You should just get a train horn hooked on there. That'd be cheaper.
No, I hate those kids who have the train horns.
In high
dude.
school,
It's-
those kids were the worst.
You still hear it around town sometimes, and it shakes you. It's loud, man.
Well, it'd be good for when you're on the highway in case a guy's going to hit you. But also, I was going to tell the story about when I broke the aux port in your car. For the record, Josh,
That was a
about
bad day.
7 years ago in Josh's car, he had the aux cord hooked up to the radio, and I broke it somehow, or the port was broken. So what he does to this day, rather than fixing the radio for $20, plugs an aux cord in, stretches it over to the handle that's in front of the driver's side seat. There's like this handle in front of the seat. Wraps it around like 8 times around the handle, pulls it tight, and then plugs it into his phone, and it still barely works unless you tilt your phone at just the right angle.
No, that's just because
it's amazing.
No, that's just because the cable's old now. When it's a new cable, it works fine. I haven't replaced the cable in a year because it's been working great until last month.
It's just absurd.
Not to keep calling out our friend Mark, but he was supposed to fix that years ago.
Wasn't it? You broke it or Mark broke it?
I think I broke it and Mark made it worse on a trip to Vermont.
Well, yeah, because someone was trying to fix it, and then someone else's aux port broke, and the piece got stuck in there. It's just a messy situation. But also, radios are not $20, Josh.
I looked for it on eBay for you. It was $20.
Yeah, it was probably used, and it's 10 years old. It's probably had the same issues.
How
as
you
mine.
probably work better?
Listen, the radio works great, guys. Talk radio. I listen to 101.9 every day.
Dude, AM. Oh, you listen to FM.
Well, yeah, they're both on AM and FM, but I have better signal because my antenna snapped off when I drove to the garage of my old apartment building.
That's right.
So I can't really use AM now.
There's something about AM though that just is like classic. It'll never change.
Why can't we get on AM radio, dude?
We definitely could. 710 WOR would definitely accept us. But I have to say,
can we start our own?
AM radio is what made me love audio and podcast format. I love it because I always wanted to be on the radio my whole life as a kid. I love listening to Mets games on the radio. I remember as a kid, we'd drive up to Shea Stadium, me and my dad and my brothers. We'd always leave seventh inning stretch. That was just my dad's move. He'd be like, we're out. And then you get in the car.
Gotta beat the traffic.
And you'd hear, gotta go to Moe's. Remember that commercial, the Modell's one?
Was that on...
Or how about this one?
No, because I listen to Yankees radio.
Oh, well, that's great as well, actually. The announcer is always awesome.
John Sterling, baby.
He's always great.
He's still at it.
I don't know. We got great radio.
I'm about to listen to the game on the way home right now when I leave here.
Good.
I'm turning on the Yankees game on the radio.
You're going to be disappointed, but
okay.
Should we just move on to the next story here?
Uncalled for.
Let's do it.
So apparently no arrests have been made in the shooting that happened at the American Dream Mall last week.
Oh boy, here we go. American Dream in the news once again. We say it every week here on the podcast, Josh. American Dream Mall is cursed. It's just an embarrassment at this point. There's something wrong with this place every week, and now there's a shooting. And even worse, the guy wasn't caught.
Yeah.
He got out.
It says the American Dream is open as usual Friday following the shooting that happened Thursday evening that locked down the facility. Police have not announced any arrests or explained the motive for the shooting that left the man in the hospital with serious injuries. So a bunch of people responded on that Thursday. I'm trying to find some more information that actually matters. It says New Jersey State Police said only one male was shot, and their investigation determined there was only one gunman. There is no threat to public safety, and state police between the shooting. The police believe the shooting was an isolated incident.
It was definitely a personal thing between these two guys. They should be questioning the guy in the hospital, right?
How is nobody arrested though? Listen,
the guy, it wasn't in the parking garage. So he shot it, and then he probably just drove off. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the parking garage. I thought it happened
in Foot Locker.
I didn't read that. Was that in the article?
I thought I read that.
I just saw people locked down in stores, but I think that's because every store locked down because they didn't know where it was.
I have no idea.
Nonetheless, I was thinking, imagine that was the night we actually went to go visit.
We would be on the scene reporting news.
We would have had the story up like that. This story is so old already. This whole week, people have been hitting us up with this story, but I'm like, we shoot on Tuesdays. We got to figure out our breaking news unit, man. We really do with this podcast.
Yeah, it was in the parking lot area of the mall.
Okay, so that explains it. So really, this is not American Dream's fault. It's just the parking lot.
It wasn't a guy randomly trying to shoot up a mall. It was an issue between these two gentlemen, and
here's the real question.
They chose the mall to take it out of all places.
Do you think he paid for parking before shooting the guy?
It's very
good question.
It's unlikely, but I don't know. Is there a gate? Is the only way to get into the garage by paying? That's the question.
Yes, probably.
Or is it one of those where you pay after and then the gate is when you're leaving? So do you think he shot the guy and then paid to get out? I don't know.
If he paid to get out, I have no idea. I have no idea, but
you stop there at the gate, put your money in, validate your card.
Imagine he's like, does anyone have a quarter? He's like asking the people in the back seat, does anyone have a quarter? Move the Glock.
Hands covered in blood.
It'd be crazy, but I don't know. American Dream, man, there's always something happening at that mall. I'm giving it a timeline of 2027.
It's cursed.
They're going to turn it into a massive hotel, I think.
2027? You're giving it some time. That's not bad.
5 years.
We have to go, dude.
Yeah, we should stop by.
We're not going to go.
We're not.
We say that every
It's our fourth time reporting on this mall. And
sorry, guys. It's
go.
just there's an endless amount of stories coming from this mall. It's great. It's like a jackpot for us. So thank you, American Dream Mall. But thankfully, that guy's alive. Hopefully, they can find the culprit here.
Yeah.
And maybe we can go to the American Dream soon and maybe snowboard.
Just
this
stay away from the parking lot.
Yeah, I'll probably park in the free area, not in the parking garage.
Good point.
where you don't have to pay. So maybe, I don't know.
So we had a story last week on the podcast where we talked about Al Lupiano.
Lupiano.
The man himself, legendary guy.
Such a great interview. If you haven't listened to that, go to last week's episode. He just spoke on everything he knew about the investigation that he's doing. He told us everything. So definitely go check out last week's episode if you haven't.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Colonia High School has seen an outbreak of people with brain tumors that have graduated from the high school. So it's really Colonia, New Jersey, but also all across America, people are writing in. And the last number I saw is 94 people with a very...
100.
100?
Yeah, we're at 100 now, yeah.
Wow. So the most recent news, though, is that emergency radiological testing is set to begin at Colonia High School.
Yeah, definitely something that Al told us about that was going to be happening, or they were going to just be running tests, get some scientists in there. So it's definitely awesome to see this thing happening already.
Well, he wasn't sure last week when we spoke to him, he wasn't sure if it was going to be happening, but he said over spring break could be the perfect time.
Yeah.
And it says a consultant will be testing the grounds at Colonia High School amid concerns that the school is linked to a high rate of rare brain cancers. Federal and state agencies, meanwhile, are starting their own investigation, which is great. That's what Al really wanted is the federal government
the feds
to get
were
involved.
originally ignoring them.
Yes.
So this is great news.
It says the Township Council approved the emergency contract with T&M Associates at Tuesday night's meeting. Altogether, it will cost $221,000.
Wow.
Which is crazy expensive, but radiological assessments at CHS will begin that involve leaving radon canisters at the schools for 14 days. These canisters do not pose a risk to students and only test radon error levels in the air. Additionally, TNM will work with Cabrera Services, a company that specializes in radiological environmental remediation. Wow, so they're really getting into this. So it looks like they're going to begin a 14-day investigation. And I don't know what I want to come of this. There's a part of me that wants nothing to come of it.
Yeah, we don't hopefully these brain tumors have no link to the high school whatsoever, even though the numbers are insane.
But there's part of me that wants something to come from
just
it.
so they can figure it
closure.
out. There's
we want
closure
for the people, and then it protects people going forward. They go, here's the source. But then what happens to Colonia High School?
We should knock that thing to the ground, brother.
I mean, can you imagine if they came back after spring break and they're like, guys, we have dangerously high levels of radiation here. Do they say, hey, everyone, we're going online and we're going to build you a new high school, or you go to another district locally? Like, what do you even do?
I think you'd have to switch schools. For now, anyway, until they find a new piece of land or...
I agree.
I mean, even if they remediated that piece of land, I don't know if they would ever put a school there again.
They could easily split up the kids into different districts, schools. It's going to stink for the kids. They want to be with their friends and whatnot, but the job has to get done.
They have, I just looked it up, Colonia High School has between 2020 and 2021, so this is a year dated, but they had 1,335 students, so that's a lot of kids, man. That is a lot of kids.
Yeah. Maybe send them over to JFK, see how many kids they could fit in there, and then I don't know, send them to neighboring towns. It's definitely doable.
I just feel really bad for people that are, going through this and don't know what the situation fully is.
It's scary. It's scary not knowing.
It's a really scary story, and I don't know what actually comes of it, but it looks like there's movement, which is all Al wanted. Al, when we interviewed him last week, he was just saying, look, I want just somebody to look into this so I can get clarity on what's going on. And he's like, look, they can prove me wrong if they want. That'd make me happy. But so it looks like he's going to get his wish. And I'm hoping that this podcast has given some exposure to this story
100%.
because it is absolutely insane what's going on in Colonia.
It's just crazy because I want to comment on this now because I couldn't earlier, but so many of the comments on these TikToks we've been posting have been saying it's due to the water. It's due to the water. When Al thinks it's due to the radiation, which I believe. I believed every bit of his story, and it makes the most sense. But it's wild to think how many people are just curious about the water issue going on over there, if there is one. But so many different takes. Yeah,
I mean, it's really, really crazy, and I think that Al, his story made sense, and I think we're gonna see a Netflix documentary come from this. That's my personal opinion. I just could see it happening. Like we said last week, all of our support goes out to Colonia High School and to Al. Anything we can do, we're here to help. Absolutely, prayers for all the victims of this. And it hits close to home. We're not far from Colonia ourselves. So.
So
we'll see what happens.
It's crazy. It's such a wild story. Every week we're learning new things about it. So it's fun to follow, and we're here to support Al and everyone from Colonia. So
Josh,
What can you say?
are you ready for our new segment?
I am so ready, dude.
Josh and I are going to begin a new segment where we answer or report on emails and messages that you guys send us. And we're calling it the Mailbag.
Oh, yeah.
This Mailbag segment comes from a man named Kenneth Rodel Jr., who, I think it's Rodel, Ken, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He wrote us an email asking us to report on Anton LeBlanc.
LeBlanc.
Have you ever heard of the public execution of Anton LeBlanc in Morristown, New Jersey?
A public execution? No.
We live in a time where we're like, public execution? That sounds crazy, but
What is that?
Not long ago, man. Not really.
What year?
1833.
Sheesh.
So basically, a German immigrant moved to America in 1833, and he commits a triple homicide of a well-respected family in the Morristown area.
Why you got to do that, man?
So that sounds messed up, right? Triple homicide. It's
messed up.
It gets worse. So he was hung in the center of Morristown on the green.
Wow.
Do you know the green?
Yeah, dude. It's beautiful.
If you're from Morristown, you know the green. It's
Been
that
there many
area,
times.
the little park in the center of town. And there were 10,000 people attending, which is nuts.
Yo, just imagine, like, I try to put myself in that situation. Like, I guess it was a normal thing back then so think about all these people, families, children, all around, just like watching this guy get executed. That's just that's so wild to me.
People used to be savages. If this type of thing happened today, it would be national news. The
Unreal.
whole country would be like, oh, no way.
They hung him?
Well, so they hung him, but that's not where it stops. Apparently, after they hung him, they skinned him and dismembered his body.
In front of everyone?
Yeah, and then they used his skin to make little trinkets that were later sold.
What's a trinket?
It's like a little giveaway.
Could be like a
Oh.
little bag, or if you
So
go.
they really made an example out of this guy.
Yeah, and there's a museum in Morristown apparently that has the LeBlanc wallet.
Shut
it's
up.
an actual wallet that was made from his skin.
That's
Shut up.
disgusting.
No shot.
Yeah, I can find you a
What's the museum?
So
We gotta go.
I'll pull it up for you right now. Here's a drawing of him.
Wow.
There's like a whole book about it. There's his wallet.
Dude, are you serious?
A gruesome memento. Wallet
Where can
said to
people
be-
go to find this?
This is in the New Jersey History and Genealogical Center. I'm guessing that's in Morristown, New Jersey. Here's a death mask made from his skin as well.
People
That
are
is
sick, dude. They're definitely
disgusting.
obsessed with this guy.
Yeah, they were. What was the? He's dead. What are you doing?
Do you
with
think
him?
there was a triple homicide since in Morristown?
No, but it says the death mask and wallet pictured above were held by a private collector and eventually given to North Jersey History and Genealogical Center a few years ago. Why would a
Wow, that's
private
it?
collector want to hold on to these?
Wait, they only gave it to the museum a few years ago?
Well, this
When's
was
this-
written. Let me see when this was written.
2014.
2014.
Still,
So,
that's
yeah.
that's fairly new.
Dude, why would you want to have a skin mask and a skin wallet from some guy?
Dude, collectors, bro. People are really like nitpicky about that kind of stuff. That's a big win right there if you own that.
So do you want me to read you the full story?
Yeah, give us some like backstory. I want to hear more details on this.
So it says, on the night of May 11th, 1833, Anton LeBlanc callously murdered his employers, Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Sayer, at their farm on South Street in Morristown. LeBlanc was swiftly captured, tried, and sentenced to death. His crime was heinous, but an even more gruesome and strange tale is the journey taken by LeBlanc's body following his execution on the Morristown Green.
Sheesh.
LeBlanc, a French-speaking immigrant, came to America to seek his fortune after his family disowned him. He ended up as a hired hand at the Sayers farm in return for a dark room in their cellar with no pay. On the night of the murder, he went to a local hotel and ordered a brandy, passing away the time until the people had gone to bed. Returning to the farm that evening, he bludgeoned the Sayers to death with a shovel and then buried their bodies in a pile of manure. He then murdered their sleeping servant, Phoebe. After stealing all the cash, jewelry, and clothing he could carry, he made his getaway on the Sayers' horse. LeBlanc was quickly captured at a tavern in the Hackensack Meadows with the stolen plunder. Where's the Hackensack Meadows? I'm guessing Hackensack? Not very far away.
Dude, this is straight out of Red Dead Redemption.
It is.
Like, I'm thinking about playing that video game right now, and like that's exactly what you do in the game.
This is just New Jersey history.
Wow.
This is the following excerpt is the sentence ordered by Judge Ford. That you be hung by the neck till you are dead, and it is further considered by the court that after execution is done, your body will be delivered to Dr. Canefield, a surgeon, for dissection. And may God have mercy upon your soul.
And may God have mercy upon your soul. What an epic sentence, dude.
I don't see that happening with what this guy was up to, but who knows?
Oh, my goodness.
So basically, he was hung on the green, and it says no such crowd as witnessed it was probably ever in the town before or since. People came by the thousands, not only from within the bounds of Morris, but from Essex, Union, Somerset, Warren, Sussex, and other contiguous territories. So people came from all over. This was like the Super Bowl for people of New Jersey.
And think about it, people are traveling. They don't have cars.
So it says, it's amazing history because it says that how much is journaled about this. It says the sheriff cut the rope and the weight dropped. And he went up 8 feet and struggled 2 minutes by stopwatch.
2 minutes.
He hung 35 minutes and was let down into his coffin. This is just disgusting.
Do you think the crowd in those 2 minutes were people cheering the death, or were they just in silence with shock?
Dude, we are living in the softest period of history.
You think they were just going crazy?
People had no sympathy, I think, for criminals back then.
No, they were definitely they were probably going crazy.
They were probably going nuts. They were probably celebrating his death. I mean, I can only imagine. I would imagine they were celebrating the death.
Wait, so is that the poster for like the event that was going to happen?
This is the SP Hole's report of the trial and conviction of Antoine LeBlanc for the murder of the Sayer family.
Hey, so next time you're in the Morristown Green, if you're listening and you were from that area, just think about this happening in 1833. Just a man being hung and 10,000 people watching. That's unreal to me. I'm going to think about that next time I'm there.
I want to see if I could find
like a drawing
of the green, Morristown Green hanging. Let's see.
That's a good search. Josh, people listening right now, where can they search this story? Or what?
So that's a really great question, actually. Let me go back to the article.
That main article.
A really good link I would look up would be look up Antoine LeBlanc, I believe I'm saying it right, Antoine space LE space BLANC. A shocking story of murder and a community's revenge.
Wow.
This is the MorristownGreen.com.
Even like the headlines are epic.
All the history, man. And I mean,
Morristown is awesome.
Morristown is a legendary spot, man. It is really cool. But thank you to our listener, Kenneth, for sending that in through the mailbag.
And yeah, for real, guys, we've been getting a lot of emails for stories and requests, not just to go visit diners, but like to tell these interesting like historical stories of New Jersey. So we appreciate it. We're checking every email. Obviously, it's hard to cover every single one.
Yes.
But we'll try to get back to you on email, Discord, our Instagram DMs, and no, not TikTok. I was about to say TikTok, but yeah, we try to answer TikTok comments.
If someone leaves a comment that gets enough likes, we'll absolutely respond to it.
100%.
Yeah, that was a really cool story, and I appreciated that you sent that in, Ken. And
so cool. We never knew that.
I didn't know that. I had heard many years ago that they used to hang people on the green, but I always thought it was like an urban legend.
Of course, yeah.
Joey Gatto used to, when we'd hang in
we used to film
Morristown,
videos in the green all the time.
It's crazy, but
I'm sending this to all my Morristown friends when we post it.
This is the thing about New Jersey is there's just so much history around every single corner.
Oh, yeah.
Under every little rock and crevice, there's something crazy that happened. But that's all the news and stories we had for this week. Thank you, Ken, for the mailbag segment. And Josh, did you have anything else that you wanted to add to this pod?
Just want to let you guys know that our merch is still available at this time. So if you didn't pick up a t-shirt or a hoodie yet, go to the link in our bio here in the podcast or any of our social medias. You'll find the merch link. Go there, grab a hoodie or a t-shirt. It's the best way for you to support the show. Keep it going. It's our only source of income right now.
Absolutely. And yeah.
Also follow us on Discord.
Follow us on Discord, join the conversation, leave us a little comment in there, and we'll get back to you. Jimmy, anything you want to say before we close this thing out?
It's going to be beautiful this week. We're in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Come on, brother.
I love it.
Let's celebrate.
What's it going to be on Friday when we post this?
Let's look.
Give us a little weather report. Aiden's not here. Aiden is our meteorologist in Discord.
Yeah.
We got to get him on the show one of these days.
We're looking at partly cloudy, 70 degrees is your high.
Come on.
49 is the low.
I love that.
10-mile-an-hour winds. Beautiful.
I love that.
Should we ask Aiden to come over one night and film a podcast with us?
Yeah, Aiden should be one of our guests.
He doesn't listen though. That's the only issue.
I don't know if he listens to the podcast because every time we shout him out, we're like, "Did you listen?" He's like, "No, not yet." So Aiden, if you're listening to this right now, just please make it known in the Discord.
Please, dude.
For real.
We ask.
I hope he knows. Like, we mention him a lot.
He's our weatherman.
I know, dude.
We're
It's
paying
an
him a lot
honor.
of money.
Too much money at this point.
So with that,
I think we should wrap it up right here. We're already over the hour mark, I think, which is awesome.
great.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for all the support, listening every single week. We really, really appreciate it. It makes it more fun knowing that people are here to join the conversation with us. So, and shout out to all the truck drivers. We still got more truck drivers hitting us up that they've been listening on the road. So that's so cool.
We love the truckers, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Everyone on the road, everyone who has long drives. Thank you for listening and giving us your time.
And with that,
See you later.
have a good night, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
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 See ya.
See you later.
You're watching the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.